The two main nominees for the 2009 Iranian elections were Mahmoud Ahmadinejad and Mir Hossein Mousavi. Ahmadinejad was the current president at the time, a conservative who was running for re-election, while Mousavi was a reformist, an architect, and an artist. Political images were everywhere as the candidates campaigned. Ahmadinejad was represented by the American flag, while Mousavi used the color green. The majority seemingly were for Mousavi. However, on election day, it was announced that Ahmadinejad won with 63% of the votes. This shocked everyone because they were sure that Mousavi would be elected. The problem is that Ahmadinejad's victory was announced before all the ballots were even counted, which led to many complaining that their voices had not been heard. People flooded the streets to protest. These protests were huge. Over 2 million people were fighting to be heard. The only problem was, the news was not covering these protests. The only way for this news to be spread was through social media. At the same time, protests became increasingly violent, innocent bystanders getting killed. People started using hashtags on Twitter to gain attention. Iranians decided that they would take this matter into their own hands and spread the news about the atrocities going on. Suddenly, the whole world was watching Iran just through a couple of hashtags. The issue of censorship then came up. The government had blocked Twitter and other social medias and were carefully monitoring the internet to make sure no one would post things against the government.
Neda became the meme of the Iran election, her name taking over social media platforms, posters in the streets, and many radio stations. With unknown and false information being circulated in the new world, social media became the eyes and ears of the Iran election, the camera phone helping to capture and truly depict what the local Iranian was going through. The Twitter user Persian Kiwi arose to begin and became a huge voice of the rioters during the election, tweeting, "Everybody try to film as much as possible today. We are the eyes of the world. Hashtag Iran election." The user led more circulation of the media to push everyone to see and record and document what was going on. As the Persian Kiwi account began to send out more instructions and became a way to expose the election voter fraud. The account also tweeted verses that became chants at rallies during riots. Overall, the Neda meme and at Persian Kiwi account not only rose awareness to the election, but also to the rest of the world just through social media, as well as cassette tapes, radio, and YouTube videos.
The hashtag has been known to represent events and people in these alive memes and get them trending in social media. An example is the hashtag 16 Azar, which stands for the 16th of the Persian month. This day is known as National Student Day, and it is a time to remember the 3 students who died on the 16th Azar in 1953 by the Shah's regime. This hashtag is connected to another hashtag known as hashtag I am Majid. In the same university at Tehran's Amir Kabir University of Technology, a man named Majid Tavakoli gave a powerful speech protesting about his rights, and then tried to escape the authorities by dressing as an Iranian woman. This is similar to what the first president of the Islamic Republic, Abul Hassan Bani Sadr, did when he was thought to have betrayed his country. Both their pictures were framed side by side, which was not taken well by hashtag Iran election. Many Iranian men thought it was wrong to associate the hero, Majid, with the weaker sex. They took to social media and created the men's scarves movement by posting pictures of themselves wearing the veil and using the hashtag selfie. The selfie was popular at this time and even got a definition in the Oxford Dictionary, which was catch-all term for digital self-portraits, abetted by the explosion of cell phone cameras and photo editing and sharing services. Frederick de la Faye, CEO of Frontback, a camera app, says, "The selfie is much more like your face is the caption and you're trying to explain a moment or tell a story."
Flash mob campaigns were essential in the gathering of people, like the campaign for the strike at the Grand Bazaars in Tehran on August 12 of 2009. At Persian Kiwi, who by then was a reliable source of detailed information about the situation on the ground in the Iranian election, his tactic was tweeting from the Tehran with the hashtag Iran election. His intention was to gather people with the use of a meme, creating a deliberate genetic copy of one of his tweets where he told people to go out on the streets and pretend that they were shopping, but they were actually not. They were being part of the Green Movement. At Persian Kiwi used Rishana Soma hashtag, which means you are the media. These words changed the post-election context. Somehow this phrase resonated with the population and it was everywhere. Like posters, cars, on the streets, on the walls. It was out there on the streets of Iran. What we understand by meme, according to Richard Dawkins, meme is a creative modification of an original idea that transmits an altered meaning, and it can be replicated many times, so it spreads through a viral transmission. It adapts to a constant changes, meaning that it can be modified for different purposes. However, for Iranians, this became kind of impossible, since every movement on the internet became tracked. They had to do it on the streets. People became the meme. No one would stop to spread their messages. They turned into a live meme on the streets of Iran. The reports of violence on the streets were more frequently because of the ferocity of the Iranian militia towards the multitude. Beyond the streets was not safe anymore. Protesters were tracked by the government and taking their phones away. Also, the lines and the internet were very unstable. Nothing was saved, so people were forced to be the media. People had to transmit the information personally to every people they met on the street.
The image we were assigned was from an advertisement that is in a virtual game called Fallout, which can be played on Xbox and PlayStation. The advertisements can be found all throughout the game. The character in the ad is a promotional character named Nuka Girl. She is used to promote the Nuka-Cola Corporation, which is a corporation within the game. She is seen in the artwork carrying a thirst zapper, a weapon used in the game, that has a Nuka-Cola symbol. Nuka-Cola is a commercialized soft drink within Fallout. The artists of the ads are all independent, and there were constantly new versions of the ad being created. The image did not tie into our case study topic, but, however, advertisement was a way it showcased the use and need for the drink in the game, and this relates to the use of social networks. Social networks broadcast everything that happens in the world, such as social movements and protests, like the ones that took place during the Iran election.